Hello friends, this is Dr. Reyaz, Assistant Professor of English at Jaipal College, JP University, Chapra. Today we'll discuss one of the most important writers of English literature, that is William Blake. In a proclamation of his extremist individualism, William Blake once said, "I must create my own system or be enslaved by other man's." He laid out for himself the invention of a whole new method of poetry. This new system would involve the creation of mythic universes and the making of an entirely new form of illustrated poetry. Blake was born in around 1757, which puts him in the first generation of the Romantic Revival. And like John Keats, Blake was a Cockney and the son of a humble but decent tradesman. The influence of social rank can be important in studying literature. Some romantics like Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley came from the upper tiers of society. William Wordsworth, Sir Walter Scott, and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, on the other hand, were born into families of respectable professional middle classes. Keats and Blake were on the lowest respectable rung. Beneath them, amid the working classes, was a place where no poetry was possible. At a very young age, he was apprenticed to a London engraving firm that produced illustrations for books and pictures to decorate middle-class homes. From his teens onward, Blake was imbued with revolutionary spirit. He admiringly observed both the French and the American revolutions. Blake's best-known works are the Songs of Innocence and Experience and The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. English literature had seen nothing like it. His other great works include The French Revolution, America, a Prophecy, and Visions of the Daughters of Albion. These are geopolitical works and difficult to understand unless one understands the Blakean system. Blake's life was without education or social advantage. The Bible, Shakespeare, and Milton, and the engraver's tools were placed in his hands, together with the most exciting political ideas of his time, and out of this mix of Bible, Milton, and Shakespeare, he animated his genius. He made poetry. Let us now discuss two of his most important works. The first of these is Songs of Innocence and Experience, and the other is The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. The title, as we can all see, is that these works alone tell us much about the essential dynamics of Blake's poetry, which can be summed up in the word dialectic, which means two forces combining together in conflict to produce a third or higher force. Blake gives us a classic definition of dialectic in The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. As he says, without contraries there is no progression. Blake can be seen along with Hegel as one of the fathers of Marxism, a political theory founded on the dialectical triad of thesis, its opposite antithesis, and the meaning and combination of both of these thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Innocence and Experience are clearly moral contraries. In the two collections of songs, Blake opposes examples of innocence and experience from natural creation, from history, and from society. His question is, can an individual who is innocent, that is inexperienced, be truly good? Or does the achievement of goodness require experience? If we believe that someone who is innocent is truly good, and if we believe that only the good go to heaven, we would rejoice when a baby, the incarnation of innocence, dies at birth. We don't rejoice it because there is more than just blank purity to life. To demonstrate how this complexity operates in Blake, let us consider two opposite lyrics. First is the lamb, the other is the tiger. Lamb is from Songs of Innocence. The poem is as simple as a nursery rhyme when we read it. It is a token of childlike, lamb-like innocence. As indicated, the lamb is one of the conventional symbols of Christ. The lamb is innocent of sex, but the mature ram is sexual. Blake was well aware of the complications of carnal desire, which he discusses frequently in his poetry. The poem is pivoted on a question, but the larger question is unanswered. God made the lamb, but why did the innocent lamb have to be sacrificed? Think of Abraham and Isaac and the ritual sacrifices of lambs in many of the world's great religions. The parting poem in Songs of Experience is the tiger. The text here is not as simple as in the lamb. The tiger is, of course, the antitype or the opposite of the lamb. In the design he made for this poem, Blake has an image of the tiger smiling as if the tiger has eaten the lamb for lunch. The answer Blake hints at is that without the destructive tiger, without crucifixion, to allegorize it in Christian terms, the innocence of the lamb would be nothing. It would be literally bloodless. And it is the blood of the Lamb, not the innocence of the Lamb, that the Christian William Blake believes will save us. The Marriage of Heaven and Hell is another important work of Blake that offers us a gateway into his system. Here he uses the term marriage. It is a synonym for synthesis in this work. The work is about the fusion of the two contraries. The section titled Marriage does not strike us as a poem at all. It seems to be a grab bag of manifesto proverbs, blank verse, and epigrams. Much of it is in prose, and it seems to contain hundreds of Mosaic commandments. Blake wrote The Marriage of Heaven and Hell at a time when he was most intensely under the influence of the radical theologian Swedenborg. Although he outgrew that phase, members of the sect still regard him as one of their most important prophets. Over the next 15 years of his life, Blake progressed further down his own idiosyncratic path. He remained deeply connected to the traditions of English literature. For him, the Bible was the greatest of literary tools and as well as a vessel of divine truth, which was poetry. Thank you so much.